The Firebird. There was once a king who had everything in life he could possibly want. He ruled over a vast kingdom, he lived in a magnificent palace, and he had 3 brave sons. The king was surrounded by beautiful things, but his greatest treasure was a garden. Its trees blossomed with fine jewels, and in the middle was an apple tree with fruit of solid gold. One morning, the king was horrified to see that a golden apple was missing from the tree.
"A thief in my garden!" he roared. "How can this be?"
The king's eldest son spoke up.
"Father, let me keep watch tonight. I will catch the thief for you."
As the night wore on, the prince leaned against the apple tree to rest. His eyes grew heavy. He woke at dawn. With horror, he saw that another apple had been taken.
"How could the thief have reached it without my knowing?"
The next night, his brother took his place, but he too drifted into sleep. "Let me keep watch," said Ivan, the king's youngest son.
"You?" sneered his brothers. "As if you could do anything. You're hardly more than a boy."
In the starry night, Ivan walked around the garden singing songs. Just before dawn, the sky grew bright. A beautiful fiery bird swooped down to the tree, seizing an apple in her long beak. Ivan leaped up to catch her, but she pulled free. He was left clutching a single feather from her tail. The king was astonished to hear Ivan's story, and his brothers could hardly contain their envy.
"What a marvel!" sighed the king. "If I had that bird, I would be the envy of a dozen kingdoms." "I will find her for you," said his oldest son, "at once. Go saddle my horse and summon my servants. I will set out this instant."
Weeks passed before the prince returned.
"I have searched the whole kingdom," he complained. "There is no trace of her." "I will go farther and search harder," claimed his brother. But he, too, came home disappointed. "I don't believe she even exists," he grumbled. By the time Ivan set out, it was midwinter, and snow lay deep on the ground. The icy air scoured his face, but beneath his cloak, the firebird's feather glowed and kept him warm. In the stillness of the forest, he seemed to hear ghostly voices. "Go back! Go back!" they urged, "or the wolves will get you!"
With a savage snarl, a silvery wolf sprang from the trees and attacked his horse. Ivan drew his sword, but before he could land a blow, the creature ran off. His horse collapsed onto the snow. As Ivan comforted the dying animal, he realized that he was being watched. "I'm sorry," said a rasping voice. "I was so hungry, but I will make it up to you." "How can you do that?" said Ivan bitterly. "How will I ever find the firebird now?" "Trust me," said the silver wolf. "Climb onto my back, and I will take you to her." Warily, Ivan climbed on. What else could he do? Then, to his amazement, the wolf leaped into the air. They soared over forests and hills until they saw the distant lights of a palace. "The Firebird is in the highest room of the tallest tower," said Silver Wolf. "Go and take her, but be careful not to touch her cage." Ivan climbed the tower steps and found the Firebird, lighting up the whole room. "How can I carry her without burning myself?" he wondered. "It can't be helped. I'll have to bring her cage." Excuse me. Bells rang through the palace. Guards stormed up the stairs, and Ivan was thrown into the dungeons. In the morning, he was brought before the king of the land, who looked at him curiously.
"A prince? Stealing my treasures in the night?"
Ivan told his story, and the king considered.
"Well, perhaps we can make a bargain. You shall have a Firebird, if, in exchange, you will bring me the winged horse of power."
Silver Wolf knew just where to go. The pair flew on again, landing in the grounds of another palace. "Listen," said Silver Wolf. "Next to the house you will see a bridle set with jewels. Do not touch it." Ivan soon found the horse of power in the stables. He reached for the plain halter, but his sleeve brushed the precious bridle. Shouts of alarm sounded through the palace. Once again, Ivan spent a night in the dungeons before being taken to the king. The king hardly noticed him.
"What do horses matter?"
he wept.
"My daughter has been stolen."
"She has been taken by the wicked wizard Koshchey," Silver Wolf told Ivan, when at last he was freed. "You'll need all the luck you can get if you mean to rescue her. Many brave men have challenged Koshchey. He has defeated them all." That evening, they soared over the high, craggy mountains to Koshchey's grim fortress. Silver Wolf and Ivan landed in a garden full of roses and statues. Marble statues of knights, with their swords raised. With a shiver, Ivan realized what the statues must once have been. Beyond the statues, 12 beautiful girls were dancing around a fountain. Ivan only had eyes for the princess watching him. Her smile was as bright as the morning sun. "Come quickly," he called. "Silver Wolf and I are here to bring you home." At that moment, there was a thunderclap, and the castle door burst open. A towering figure strode out, surrounded by squealing demons.
"How dare you!"
roared Koshchey.
"I am Koshki the Deathless. I can never be defeated. I have hidden my soul outside my body. This is my place of power, and I will turn you to stone."
He raised his arms and began to cast his spell. "His soul! It's in a box in the old tree stump," hissed Silver Wolf. It was too late. A terrible numbness was seeping through Ivan's body. The wind whipped at his cloak, and the Firebird's feather fluttered to his feet. Life and warmth surged through him once more. Silver Wolf leaped at Koshchey, while Ivan scrabbled for the box. He opened it to reveal a gleaming golden egg. With a howl, Koshchey saw what Ivan has found.
"Stop!"
he shrieked.
"Stop, and I'll give you anything you want."
Ivan ignored him, hurling the egg to the ground where it smashed into pieces. There was a deafening roar, and the castle came crashing down. When Ivan dared to look up, the sorcerer, his demons, and all trace of his fortress were gone. Ivan and Silverwolf brought the princess safely home. When the king saw his daughter again, he was overjoyed.
"The horse of power is not reward enough,"
he said.
"and I can see how you feel about each other."
So Ivan and the princess were married, and the homecoming feast became a wedding banquet.
"Your father will want to see you,"
the king told Ivan.
"but may I travel with you some of the way? I cannot say farewell to my daughter so soon."
And so they all flew to the Firebird's palace, where the king stayed with the horse of power, while Ivan and his bride went on. When Ivan's father saw him, his eyes filled with tears.
"My son, I thought you were lost. How could I have put you at risk? And as for the Firebird, she should never be kept in a cage. Let her come and go as she pleases, and eat apples from my orchard whenever she likes."
From that day on, the Firebird was often seen darting among the jewel trees. Sometimes she would let fall a golden apple, and another tree would grow from it. In time, that tree would bear fruit. Not golden kind, but still the sweetest apples in all the kingdom. The end.